Hi everybody, this is Raj and I'm an online tutor. I have been tutoring for more than 5 years. In this period, I have worked for various tutoring companies across the globes and have conducted approximately 10,000 online lessons. So I used to conduct one-to-one online lessons and the flexibility of being an online tutor, we can be connected globally to anyone across the world at any point of time. So that's one of the biggest advantage I have being an online tutor. I'm a BTech graduate. I did my BTech from SLIET, St. Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology. It is based in the Punjab, and I did my BTech with 86%. And since then, I'm part of online tutoring companies only. I mean, I used to conduct sessions day and night only. That's my whole work. I mean, yeah. So today, now we are going to discuss about the quadratic equations and functions. In this, we are going to deal with some of the property of quadratic function. How can we decide the quadratic equation will have two roots or just one root or no root at all? And like what are the formula that we use to solve the quadratic equations? Apart from that, we also decide by just like without solving the equation that how can any equation have uh, more than one solution, no solution at all. And also we check by using the graphs as well. So let's get started, and first we are going to discuss about the quadratic formula. That's like a tool to solve any quadratic equations which can be factored or can't be factored. By the term factored, I mean like that. Yeah, that's one of the way to solve any quadratic equation which is possible to factor. But in some problem like the factoring is not possible. In all those problems, the quadratic formula works all the time. Uh, we can try an example here, like so it's x squared minus 4x, and there is plus 3 equals 0. So that's one of the problem. And we have another problem which is x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0. So now we see the first problem. It can be possible to factor. However, if we try to factor the second one, we see that it's not possible to do that. So for this kind of problem, we prefer to use quadratic formula. However, quadratic formula which is going to work in both the problems. So let's try to solve the first problem by using the factor method and second problem by using the quadratic formula. So I mean like when we solve any problem by using the factor method, we make sure that um, the possible factors are those which add up to minus 4 and which can be multiplied to 3. So that's like the basic rule that we know. So here, since it's negative 4, so the possible factors are minus 3 and minus 1. So we can rewrite this as x minus 3 times x minus 1 equals 0. Now we can apply the 0 property, which is set each term equals 0. So by that we will be getting x minus 3 equals 0, and then add the 3 on both sides. So if we are going to add the 3 on both sides, we are going to get one of the solution as x equals 3. Similarly, we can do for the another one as well. So x minus 1 equals 0. If we add the 1 on both sides, we are going to get the similar result, but this time we are going to get x equals 1 and x equals, okay, here we are going to get x equals 1. So the final solution for this one is x equals 3 and x equals 1. So that's one of the examples where the factoring was possible. However, this problem can also be solved using the quadratic formula. But generally, if the factoring is possible, we don't try to use that. But you can use. I mean, it's not the fixed rule that you can't use. Yeah, so let's try to work on the second one now. Since we can't find any factor which add up to -4 and multiplies to 1. So here we are going to compare them with the standard equation of a quadratic equation. So which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now you can compare them. So on comparing, you will be getting the value of a, b and c. Once we got that value, we are going to plug in the above formula. You can see that the quadratic formula, which is minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. So when we compare here, we got the value of a as 1, since there was no number, so which means like that's 1x squared, and b was -4 and c was just 1. So if we try to solve for the x, then we are going to get so that's -4, so it becomes negative of negative, so that becomes +4 plus and minus, and that's minus b squared, so -4 squared minus 4 times a c, so a times that c is as well, so that becomes just 1 and 1. Now at the bottom we will be getting 2a, so 2 times 1. Now its rest is all about simplify, so let's simplify it further. So first we can do the square root. -4 squared is 16, -4 is just 12. So we will be getting x equals 4 plus and minus square root of 12 over 2. If you try to simplify that further, you can simplify that, or you can get in terms of decimal as well, like depending upon what are the answer they're asking. But I prefer to do like simplification further, so which is like 4 plus and minus, this can be rewritten as over 2, which is 2 plus and minus if you divide the 2 on the top and bottom. So this is the answer that we are going to get. We leave them in the exact form unless they ask for the decimal. Now that was the part of the quadratic formula and where we could use that. Quadratic formula works in all problems. So this is one of the important tools you have to remember while solving the problems. Now let's move on to some graphical way of just checking that whether the solution are possible or not. So whenever you are given a graph, so in the graph we used to check if that graph is going to intersect the x-axis at how many points. If it is going to intersect at 2 of the point, then there are 2 routes possible. If it is going to just touch the line and just going back in the same path, then only 1 route is possible, like you can see in the diagram. Here you can see that's just 1 route, and here we have the 2 routes possible since there are 2 intersection points. And here there are no real route, or there is imaginary route, so there's no solution for that. It can be done graphically, that's the way we did. Now let's try to do by using the discriminant. Now by the word discriminant, basically it's the term that we have in the quadratic formula as well, the term which was under the square root. So that's what we call as the discriminant. Discriminant is d equals b square minus 4ac, and it tells the type of the roots, the type of the root that equation will have. Now if d is less than 0, then we are going to get a imaginary roots. There are no real roots. It's the same situation that where the graph doesn't intersect the x-axis. If d equals 0, then there was 1 root possible. Since the graph is going to only touch, it never crosses that x-axis. And also the last one is like if d is positive, then we have 2 distinct real roots. So same condition as like passing through two points. So we get two distinct real roots. And that completes a basic idea about the quadratic equation, the types of root, and how to solve the quadratic equation. There are further method as well, like AC method. That's the part of the factoring. Generally, here we are discussing about the quadratic formula and the type of the roots of quadratic equation by looking at the graph and by using the discriminant. I hope you got a certain idea about this, and I hope to see you again. Take care then.